we're here once again with Derek Wood, president and founder of Tocvan Ventures Corp, a Canadian junior listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange under TOC and also on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange under TV3. Derek, it's great to see you here again.
Good to see you, Doug. Always appreciate meeting you, and thank you for your help and helping us get our story out.
No problem whatsoever. Well, you just recently completed your phase one drilling over at the Pilar Project in Sonora and reported an impressive drill intercept in a step-out hole of 94.6 meters, averaging 1.6 grams per ton gold, which also included a high-grade intercept of 9.2 meters, running 10.8 grams per ton gold and 38 grams per ton silver. Historically, there's been over 19,000 meters of drilling at Pilar, and I believe this is the best drilling intercept yet. Is that right?
Pretty much. Historically, I think there was 17,700 meters. So now we're up to the number that you're talking about, I guess. I think I said before that the property is open all directions, and there's, we've done a lot of work, geophysic work, soil sampling over the whole property now. But this was, there's three parts to the last drill program. There was to confirm historic holes. There was to increase, so we stepped out here. This isn't just within that zone. It's a 20-meter step out from where the previous drilling occurred. So we've increased the size just in the main zone. But the greatest drill result to date actually occurred in I think it was the early to mid 90s. And that was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 56 grams over 17 meters.
Oh, wow.
And that is why all the drillings occurred in one section, is everybody's trying to follow up that same big bonanza grade intercept that occurred. And there's been other good results. I think this might be the best one other than that. And it's certainly a nice long intercept, I think, with that high grade in the middle. So it was fantastic. We did a lot of geophysical analysis, before we drilled. So we had some really good targets, and we hit really good in 3 holes. I'm not the geo, so I don't want to speak too much about the geological results, but we have 2 awesome geos on the project, and I can tell you they're excited, and they're already getting to work on the next phase. So it was great. Yeah.
Okay, because you've already started phase 2 on this property then.
Not drilling. So we're big on doing as much work as you can do before you turn the drill. Drilling's expensive, and with a lot of the technology that exists in mining right now, you can do a lot with old data. So not only did we, step this out a little bit better and make the size of the main zone a little bit bigger, we're also still processing information to better define future targets. And Brody and now Rodrigo are now designing the next program. But the start of that right now is they're doing more sampling of the whole property again, and they're also going over old cores for indicator minerals to look, to give them geological clues and let their science brains come up with even bigger and better targets.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, that's right. You just recently announced a new addition to your team with Rodrigo Calles as Exploration and Corporate Development Manager, and he's also a new member of the Tocvan's Board of Directors. So could you tell us a little bit about Rodrigo Calles and his part in Tocvan?
Yeah, that's a fantastic addition that we made. I visited the property in early November, and actually shortly after your conference, I came back to Hermosillo, and we had somebody that wanted to see the property, and we wouldn't have been able to do this amount of exploration without Rodrigo. He started off just contracting for us. He has his own geological consulting company based in Hermosillo, and he was kind of my transportation up to the Pilar property when I was, meeting this group up there to show them around. And so that's a fantastic way to get to know somebody, right? It's spend a whole day with somebody, 2 hours to the property, 2 hours back. But we're already very, very impressed with his ability to run this program and his ability to put together the field crews necessary for really all aspects of the exploration and be the geologist on site during the drilling. Um, I usually like I was big on trying to get, and I think you and I have spoken of this before, but we want to include local people as we build companies. And with Rodrigo, we sort of got a trifecta. He's a very experienced, very, very, very good geologist. He is very attuned to the new technology, and then Brody being the VPX, he's a little bit younger, but you put a younger geologist together with an older geologist. Rodrigo is a Mexican national and speaks fluent English, fluent Spanish, which really helps us network a little bit better down there. Especially we look for additions, possibly additional properties to Tocvan as we move forward. Um,
Sure,
couldn't be
he's
more pleased. Couldn't be more pleased. It's just great. It's great to have him on board and the whole Tocvan team. I think since we last spoke, we also added Don Lovett as a strategic advisor, and I think you met
oh,
Don.
that's right. Don was at the conference as well back in November.
Yeah, so that having somebody, I think Don's again, he's a generation even older than me. So and he's experienced with the sort of layers of government and stuff, and he really helps us in an advisory role. But he helps. He's actually trying to link us up to some other opportunities in Mexico as well and Canada. So yeah.
That sounds like a good, well-rounded team then.
Yeah, well, and Fred Jones, he's yeah, it's just a great, good team, and we're really excited, and I think we're doing all the right things right now.
All
So
right, well, great. Well, kind of changing the topic a little bit, the structure of a company is just as important as the geology of your projects. And you're kind of a financial guy, so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how you structured Tocvan to make it attractive for investors.
yeah, well, I've been involved in the securities market since the early '90s, and I've seen all kinds of with a big focus on early stage resource investing, and it's always been very cyclical in nature. Um, the money sort of tends to come all at once and leave all at once, and everyone's a learning experience. The last one, in my opinion, ended really badly. So what we try to do is make sure that people are aware of what we're doing and the progress we're making as we go forward, and really try to create shareholder value for the current and early stage shareholders, including myself. Um, we don't try to raise money just because it's there. We like to do it in stages and make sure that the value of the property as it's de-risked increases in value as best we can. And part of that is just making sure you tell the story to a wide audience. And we think we have a great property here. And our share structure, we got about 24.5 million shares out, and we have all our warrants coming in right now. Um, yeah, it's more important for we're really trying to create a decent win, a good size win for the early stage investor, and we do that by trying to protect the capital structure while advancing the property.
Okay, that sounds really good. Could you tell us a little bit about your philosophy on investing in the mining sector?
That's a loaded question, Doug.
That is a loaded one.
You got about 7 hours. Well, the one thing that you got to realize about mining is it's risky. And I don't just mean from an investing standpoint. The actual act of mining is risky. The actual
Yeah.
act of prospecting is issue. The actual act of even doing exploration work with drills and machinery and everything, it's risky. It's very volatile, and that's investment wise, yeah, it's risky. So um, we try to make that risk justified given a potential return. And I would, my philosophy is do a lot of due diligence before you get involved with a mining deal. Make sure that you have a property that's capable of delivering a substantial wealth creation opportunity, and make sure you got a management that are sort of dreamers and committed to that dream to try to make it a reality, and then try to make sure that that they're keeping with that theme, that they're doing their best to deliver what they say they're going to do, and check them out a little bit before you go forward.
Well,
That's about it.
that
I
sounds like a,
there's a whole checklist, Doug. I could talk for
yeah,
hours about it, but generally speaking, there's a lot of risk. That's okay. Just make sure that the risk is justified by the potential return. And there's a lot of things you got to do in there, but that's a
well,
general.
that sounds like a good summary and good
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Well, Derek, I think, is there anything else you'd like to talk about the Pilar project or anything that we're missing here?
We announced a financing a little while ago. It was actually at a bit of a premium to the market at the time. It's not closed yet. We did have one investor that put their hand up for it, and we have all kinds of options for financing right now. But um, give me give me a holler or something if you want to discuss financing. We're sort of waiting with what Rodrigo and Brody come up with, because again, we don't want to raise too much money, because I still consider us way undervalued, and we really just want to make sure we have enough money to execute the exploration program they come up with, plus a little bit of breathing room, and we should have that all wrapped up. In the meantime, we have about $700,000 worth of warrants that are deep in the money, and they're coming in every day. But yeah, financing is obviously an ongoing concern in a mining company, right? So that's that. I still think there's a great deal of upside. I think we're going to get to, we're working to demonstrate open pitable resource on that top oxide portion where the majority of drilling is, but there's targets all over the property. So
Yeah,
stay tuned. We'll update you what this next phase of drilling looks like, but no shortage of targets.
real good, Derek. Well,
Yeah.
looking forward to the next news release, and we'll see how things go with the phase 2 drilling, which should be starting up shortly, right?
Yeah. We got to get the financing behind us, but we've already started to do the groundwork to get more targets and get a better understanding. Again, it's not just the share structure that's important in mining, the geological structures appointment, and especially in an epithermal. And with the brains we have on it, man, we're really excited, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Derek. Well, thanks a lot. We'll stay tuned for the next time we get together then.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Doug.
Yeah,
Cheers.
take care.